Hi Scorpio, welcome to January 2021. In this horoscope, taroscope, we are going to be going through the astrology of January 2021, and we're going to be looking at the cards that come up. Keep in mind, January 2021 is arguably the most intense month of 2021, and a lot of that is to do with your ruler Pluto. And much of it is to do with the fellow fixed energies of Aquarius and Leo and Taurus. You are the missing link. And so you feel like you may be getting some challenging energies thrown at you this month, but none of it is to break you. It is just to crack you open. It is to open you up to sharing, open you up to talking, opening you up to communicating what goes on within you, which is usually a lot more than you present on the surface. And so in January, there's a very strong push on you to understand your intimate relationships more closely, but also to understand that intimate relationship with yourself. What you do to comfort yourself when you're feeling challenged, or what you do to work through fears of yours. And working through fears has been a big component of the last year. This year is a lot more to do with liberating yourself from some mental shackles, from some conditioning, and you're going to do it really very well. But January is kind of pushy. It's like when you're standing on a diving board and you look below you and you think, this is scary. This is so much scarier now that I'm higher up. Whether that's with a project or a relationship or anything, you're at a point where you know you're going to have to dive in and you can't go back down because there's people that have blocked your path, and to go back down would be quite a blow to the ego, something that I don't think you're willing to do. So now you only have this option to dive in. The new moon in Capricorn on the 13th is one of great challenges to many. For the world, third chakra, for the world it is deeply transformative, a new period of honesty. And for you, because it's conjunct your ruler Pluto, this new moon is a new beginning in how you express yourself, how you communicate, how you open up, how you verbalize your feelings, how you ask others how they're feeling. Because as much as Scorpio loves to know, Scorpio actually hates to pry. And as much as Scorpio loves to connect, Scorpio also fears talking about certain things. You fear the thing you want the most at times. And so at the top of that diving board, you're ready to jump. And what does that require? Well, it requires a significant confidence that your ruler Pluto is giving you in Capricorn, for sure. And with the third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, you are working on what makes you feel your most confident. And with the world here, Scorpio, you're a lot more aware of what your world is. Who is your world? What is your world? Door to Spirit, and how much more you are connecting to the type of vibrations in your life that you want. And so as you try to connect that little bit deeper to those energies, and you try to connect that little bit deeper to the thoughts and the feelings that you want, a process that's always been part of your ruler Pluto is a clearing. And that clearing for you actually comes through communication. Some of you are already feeling this though. Communicating how you feel, communicating what you fear. And understanding that being vulnerable with people, being vulnerable with connections, or being vulnerable with any kind of relationship is a lot more satisfying than you thought. Because truthfully, Scorpio, the more vulnerable you are, the more people understand you, and they also see your heart, they see your soul, and they see that you care. But with that being said, your need to communicate can be blocked if you let these feelings fester for a long time, and that's when you begin to think that you are your feelings. It's better to dive in than stand up there for so long that you just let the fear build and build and build and build. Do you see what I'm saying with that analogy? There's a bit of a leap this month. A bit of a leap of fear. A bit of a leap of faith. The two are very connected. Mars in Taurus is an interesting one. Mars in Taurus is a time for Scorpios where Mars, being your traditional ruler and in your opposite sign, can actually make you more yourself, can actually make you more aware of who you are. But it can also make you invest a lot more energy into your relationships. And sometimes if you invest too much energy while the other person is, very fixated on something in their life, and this can be in a business partnership as well, it can be in any one-on-one relationship, you can really irritate yourself by investing too heavy and feeling like nothing's coming back, So with Mars connecting with Uranus, there is a point where you might feel a little bit like you want to challenge somebody. You want to challenge them on their feelings. You want to challenge them on their actions. You want to challenge them on their beliefs. Be careful of that, because a lot of this is coming from pent up energy. And there's a beautiful aspect between Mars and Venus. That means if you're communicating from a place of truth and communicating from a place of vulnerability, you can actually create a very, very significant balance, a very divine balance with people. But if you're doing it to be impulsive, if you're doing it to shock, if you're doing it to instigate immediate change, you could end up really feeling very frustrated. Now, it is important with Venus being in Capricorn, as it will be from the 8th, that you express yourself, that you open up in terms of love, that you open up in terms of money. And it's also important that in terms of money, that you, in terms of if you're trying to manifest money, for example, if you're trying to spell work money into your life, your words, your written word in particular, are very significant. Now, there's probably for single Scorpios a lot of messages coming in, a lot of text messages, if you're on dating apps, there might be a lot of matches. If you are looking for love, there's a lot of potential to meet through friends, through neighbors, through community, etc. Again, because of the energies of Aquarius and because of the ongoing pandemic, probably a lot of that could be online for you, but nevertheless, you're much more prepared, Scorpio, to communicate. Much more prepared, especially with Mercury being in Capricorn as well. Communicating your feelings is very important, and because of that harmonious aspect between your partnership zone and your communicative zone, conversations with lovers this month, yes, 2 of Cups, are very healing, very unifying, and very much solidify your current bonds and allow you to reach a much more intimate level with somebody, allow you to connect with someone in a way you've not connected before, because it's challenging you to put down your ego, Ace of Cups, and really open up to somebody. For a lot of you, this is love. 2 of Cups, Ace of Cups, an exchange, a communication of love, an exchange, a communication of intimacy and deeper understanding of somebody else. The Ace of Cups is when your cup runneth over with emotion, with good feelings. And for some Scorpios, I have to say, as beautiful as this can be and as beautiful as the cards are, when you're overwhelmed with emotions, it's very scary, because you're your most vulnerable. As I said at the beginning, sometimes being confronted with what you want can be scary, but you have to dive in. You have to dive in anyway. Diving into a connection, diving into a partnership, diving into a friendship maybe, because for some Scorpios, maybe this is a brand new friendship that you've wanted for a very long time. You've wanted somebody who understands you, who merges with you, who gets you, where there's a common interest. It's funny, I often find with Scorpios that when there's challenging energies in the sky, they seem to, as the phoenix would, really rise to the occasion. That new moon with its connection to Pluto is a new beginning for you to express yourself, to understand yourself even, and to have a better relationship with you. Because you have to admit, Scorpio, that sometimes because you feel so deeply and because you think so much, your relationship with you can sometimes get quite disconnected, where you're trying to protect a part of yourself that has long since disappeared. Because as that proverbial phoenix rising from the ashes, sometimes Scorpios have a hard time keeping up with who's there and who's left the room. That's the old you. January is a big phoenix moment, actually. It is really when you rise up. Yep. And you step forward fearlessly. Well, people think it's fearlessly. You're actually probably more like a swan. You're kicking underneath. Your feet are going at 1,000,000 miles an hour below the water, but you are looking serene as you do it, and you are looking powerful as you do it, and you're looking graceful and beautiful and all these things. But it's okay to be a little bit nervous about this new path, and it's okay to understand, Scorpio, that in sometimes manifesting whatever it is that you want, be it in career, be it in love, be it in any relationship, be it in friendship, whatever it is that matters most to you at the moment on a heart-based level, it's okay to be a little bit scared. And it's okay to understand that the idealized picture you paint in your head when you really want something, it rarely has those challenges in it. Which is good, because if you were trying to get something in life and all you could think about were the challenges, you would talk yourself out of it. But if you're coming from a place where you know that this is something you want on a heart-based level, on a soul-based level, you can proceed with it with confidence that at least you know it's right for you. And that the challenges are just part of life. They're part of growth. They're part of your soul evolution. Because Scorpio, if everything was easy, you would set it on fire just to feel the heat. But because you have such emotional complexity and such emotional depth, you don't even have to do that. Because a lot of it goes on below the surface. So for Scorpios that are opening up to new connections with somebody that you adore, somebody that you love, somebody that you want to be with, this is a whole new path for you. If you are looking for romance, Scorpio, this seems to be pretty promising. That there could be something new, particularly around the new moon. Or around the Leo full moon. Because that will be at the top of your sky. For others of you, if this is a career moment, this is quite big. It is based on trust, though. It's based on trusting that things will work out. It's based on trusting a company, trusting a person, and knowing that you're setting foot down this path in a way that makes sense to you on an emotional level. It's not all to do with the mental aspects of it or the money aspects of this. A lot of it is more to do with feeling fulfilled and not running away from yourself emotionally. Which is, again, quite a big part of January, is not running away from yourself emotionally. It's about being prepared, Scorpio, to be more open, to express yourself more in any dynamic. Your mystery is fascinating, it's alluring, but it's challenging whenever it comes to having what it is that you actually want. I'm going to do an oracle card and see what else we have for Scorpio in January 2021. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? With others, with yourself, energetically speaking. It's a big thing. setting up boundaries with yourself in terms of your spirals in particular. Anxious people typically tend to put their focus on the what could go wrong. You know, they will spiral with ideas of what could go wrong. They will spiral with ideas of how this could completely crumble, how this could be torn from them, what possibly could happen to them that would be a misfortune. Rarely do people ever spiral with good thoughts, with how this could go well. And so, Scorpio, sometimes you need to establish a very firm boundary with yourself that you won't let your thoughts get carried away, especially around the 17th, 18th, 16th even. Don't let your thoughts override you. Don't let your need to act override you. Channel it into something else. Deep replenishment. As we move into an Aquarian based sky in February, there is a need to rest, to retreat, and to look after yourself a little bit better. You know, to heal, to process your feelings, to nest, to spend time indoors, to get more sleep, and to allow intimacy to develop in your life as well, with those that you love, being with your family more, being with your partner more, being in the moment with somebody. And when I say being in the moment with people you really care about, I mean not thinking about other things while you're with them, being present, focusing on the smells you can smell, hopefully with the people in your life that's a good smell, what you can taste if you're having dinner with somebody, what you can feel, how their sweater feels if you're hugging them, anything like that. What you can hear and what you can see, but also what you can feel. You know, what you're feeling in that moment, the gratitude you feel for where you are, the gratitude you feel for what you have. And even if that's just with yourself, focus on those senses as well. And the thing about those of you that are completely single and trying to manifest love in your life, one of the best ways you can have it in the external is to have it in the internal. To feel love for yourself, to know that it exists within you already, and to be present with that feeling. And when you accomplish that, because you're Scorpio and you feel so deeply, and because you're a supreme manifester, the more that you feel that feeling, the more it manifests for you very quickly. Especially with that new moon in Capricorn, that is an emotional rebirth for you. That is a new start. That is a very intense period of manifestation, especially if you're born in the last few days of Scorpio, from about the I want to say the 15th onwards, maybe. And I'll say maybe the 12th onwards, yeah. In fact, it could be even sooner. If you're born in November in particular, you will feel this energy the most. But I do feel that for a lot of Scorpios, this is a new beginning for you emotionally, based on deeper intimacy, based on deeper connections with your partners, with your family as well. A closeness there where there's feelings expressed that people are very surprised you want to express now. Where you're more comfortable showing how you feel, and the warmth and maybe even the awkwardness you feel about getting it back could be intense. But that's just part of the process. Your solar plexus, Scorpio, has probably been blocked for a while, where you have not necessarily felt the most confident in your endeavors, but all the while you were actually healing it and you were actually bringing it back up. And when you suddenly feel that confidence that you can surpass any feelings of awkwardness, fear, you find something incredibly fulfilling, which is a new path, a new relationship, a new job, anything of that nature. And it's very important to connect with that feeling, to understand the feeling, and to take that leap, to take that jump, to say the thing that you really want to say. Provided it's based on truth and it's not based on trying to force immediate change. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. There is an extended part of this reading that you can access. The link will be below. It'll go more in depth into the cards. It'll clarify if you're dealing with a fire sign person or an earth sign person or anything like that. It will go into all those different possibilities, and it will look a little bit deeper at the astrology. And if this is where we part ways, I hope you have a beautiful January, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.